how a violinist holds the bow is going to be key in creating a good sound at a beginner level, as well as great mastery when you become more advanced. The standard bow hold was created to have a balance between a firm grip on the bow while allowing for delicate sound and movement when creating all of the bowings available to string players, from these kind of long sweeping strokes of the bow to really kind of these short jumpy rhythms at the frog or even the tip. So bow hold is really essential. Now, the nuances of a bow hold can differ by region, genre, or even by your private teacher, but many of the basics are the same. Most players will hold the bow by the frog, but just to note, many folk or fiddle players are actually going to choke up on their bow a little bit, and this is really just to accommodate for the bouncy and quick playing used in many folk and fiddle songs. But it is encouraged to start with the basics before moving on to a more advanced skill. So I will be showing you the standard bow hold most used by classical players, especially at a beginner level. When practicing the bow hold, remember the words curved and first knuckle. We want rounded, curved fingers that are not straightened or locked into these kind of tense positions. So also, most of our fingers will be curved around the stick of the bow and will also be resting right around the first knuckle, okay? So it might be easier for some to use a pencil while getting started and getting used to the positioning, but both a pencil or a bow is okay to get started. I'm going to start with a bow, and as a reminder, try your best not to touch the hair, as the oils from your fingers are really going to mess with your bow hair. So I'm only holding it at the stick, okay? So we're going to start with our thumb in this space right between the stick and the hair, and we're going to put it a little bit through. We're not going to poke it all the way through, but just a little bit. And this is actually going to be the fulcrum in our balancing act. So next, we're going to take our middle finger and lay it right over the stick, right around the first knuckle, okay? And it's going to be on the opposite side of the thumb. Your index finger will be laying over the stick, slightly leaning forward, kind of in the crook of the first knuckle. There's a little bit of space in between, so please notice that. So our ring finger is just going to kind of lay gently next to our middle finger, and last but not least, we have our pinky finger, which is actually going to rest on top, okay? It's not going to be curved around, it's going to be resting right on top, and actually the pinky is going to create the balancing act for the whole bow. So most people actually don't use their pinky often enough on a day-to-day basis to realize that it's the weakest of all the fingers and the least coordinated. However, the pinky provides balance, and it really makes sure that the bow position is not going to collapse under its own weight. We actually have another video showing you ways to strengthen your pinky before it keeps locking up and getting tense, but that's another video. So as we look at our bow hold, we want to notice that all of the fingers are curved and they are relaxed and not locked. So here are 3 exercises that are going to help you get comfortable with your bow hold, as well as strengthen all your fingers. So number 1, we have the spider crawl. We're going to start at the tip of the bow. Start with your best bow hold, okay? And so we're just going to use our fingers to crawl down to the frog, okay? And this is going to strengthen your fingers and also practice dexterity and movement. So you just go all the way to the frog, and you just do that once during your practice session. It's going to make a big difference, and it might strain your fingers a little bit, but it's good for you. So number 2 is the lazy hand workout. So we're going to switch to a pencil, all right? Using a pencil, hold the kind of in this relaxed kind of lazy position. The fingers are straightened around the pencil, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of curve our hand, and we're going to do this back and forth movement. And this really shows you how your fingers can curve as you play. And this is resembling as you moved from the moving straight and back and forth, up and down from the frog to the tip. And this is going to create these smooth bow changes rather than just kind of these crunchy and stiff sounds of a beginner. Number 3 is to really just take about 5 minutes of your time in your practice schedule to just play open strings or a simple scale, really for the purpose of just paying attention to your bow hold and correcting it as you need to. So just take those long strokes and fix your bow as needed. So, as always, it takes talent to be a good musician, but it takes practice to become a great one.